Have you ever wondered just how much the fastest enduro bikes are from the EDR? Well, wonder no more, because we've got 11 top enduro bikes from the cheapest to the most expensive. We've based our pricing on UK pounds, so there will be some local prices that will be a little bit different. But should we dive in?
Yeah. The Commencal Meta V5. So last year's Enduro World Champ Alex Rideau has a clean and simple and close to production version of that Meta V5. So there's a couple of things he's changed from the stock bike that you can buy from Commencal. So he's on the Magura brakes, and he's not using the German brand's new Gustav DH brakes either. He's running the classic Raceline MT7s.
Interesting.
Yeah.
If you shop around, I've seen that you can get those brakes for under 200 quid.
Not bad.
That's front and rear, which is
really
wild.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's cheaper than the brakes you'd likely get on the production bike.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah.
He's also running E13 Grappler Race Alloy Enduro wheels, which price for price are close to the stock ones. And then we have seen him using the Fox Podium upside down forks more recently, which do add a chunk onto the price. But he's raced most of the season on Fox 38s.
Yeah, it's interesting. So how much can this bike be yours for?
So £6,100.
That seems actually quite reasonable.
It does, actually, yeah.
I mean, that is quite expensive, but there you go. Cube might not be the name that you first jump at for enduro bikes, but Cube have been running their enduro race program since 2011. It's called the Action Team, which is a great name for an enduro team. But they're still winning at the very highest level. Simona, and I'm not going to be able to pronounce Simona's name, won at La Tuile just back in July. So she won on the Stereo 177 enduro bike.
Nice.
Great name. So the 177 is how much travel it's got. Suspension-wise, it's a classic 4-bar system. It's got dial geometry, specs pretty good. I mean, it must be good, it's won at EDR, so it is race winning. The closest production bike that we could find had got Fox suspension, but it got a SRAM Axis sort of drivetrain or transmission, as they call it. That comes in at £5,999, whereas what the Action Team ride on, it's got different specs. So it's got the Fox suspension, it's got the factory stuff, but it's also got the new XTR Di2. So that's the wireless one. There's some other little hop-ups over the stock machine, but by our maths, I think the pricing will be not that far off. So around 6,500 if you were trying to spec the same stuff as she's won an enduro one.
Nice.
Impressive.
Up next, we have an enduro classic, and that is the Canyon Strive. So we've done a deep dive on one of these bikes. It was Jesse Melamed's. If you want to go and check that out, it gets on to all the nitty-gritty details of his particular bike. But more broadly, the Canyon Strive is a unique beast featuring things like a shapeshifter, just a clever system where you can change around the suspension travel and the geometry of the bike with flicking a switch on your left hand, and it goes between a pedal mode and a shred mode. Really versatile for enduro riding. So there is a Strive CFR limited edition spec, but Jesse's race machine is a tier above. The stock build has RockShox Ultimate suspension front and rear, whereas Jesse's bike has the very latest RockShox Flight Attendant electronic suspension, including the rear shock that's not really officially available just yet. There are some other extras like a rim pack tune mass damper in a steerer tube. So pricing on that bike with the Pro suspension and that tune mass damper, you're looking about £7,500.
Fan favourite, Jack Moyer. He's remained on the YT Capra this year, but the main headlines on this bike is that there's been a switch from RockShox to Fox suspension and away from SRAM brakes to TRP. There are some other smaller changes. Well, you could say down to YT's uncaged philosophy, or it could just be that, well, Jack's allowed to pick what he wants. I guess that's part of the team thing, isn't it?
Cool.
Yeah, it is. He's still using a SRAM transmission, so they're T-type drivetrain. And he's now using an O-chain. Apparently that's one of his consistent parts of his setup. Nice. I guess it is, because he switched everything else, hasn't he? Brakes and bouncy bits. You can get a Fox suspension build from YT, and then we've got to add a chunk on, because the TRP brake's pretty expensive, and then it's actually Fox live valve suspension. So by our maths, we make it around £7,000 780, give or take. So hopefully Jack's ankle can be healed up and the team stays true and good. And also that YT rebuild and, helps all those consumers that have been affected by that sort of weird restructuring. Odd situation. Interesting bike though.
A little bit of a jump up to this next bike. So the first of our bikes to break the 5-figure mark.
Ouch.
Yeah, so for enduro duties, Aeon Racing's Hattie Harnden is racing the Nicolai G1 GPI bike. The bike is based off the latest generation G1, so Nicolai's signature long, low, slack, super adjustable enduro bike, and that GPI extra to the name means it's a similar chassis, but it's equipped with that pinion, gearbox and Gates belt drive. So there was a lot of talk about whether a gearbox system would have too much drag for enduro, but Hattie turned up to round 1 of the Enduro World Cup this year, one of the pedaliest race weekends in EWS and EDR history, and won it comfortably. So, bike or rider, you decide, let us know down in the comments. Well, with the changes Hattie's made to the production spec, we would estimate her build would come in at around £10,500.
But it's got a gearbox.
It's got a gearbox. Yeah.
Next up, we've got our first prototype, which is interesting because I think if we do this for downhill, I think there'll be a lot more.
Yeah.
This is a Cannondale habit. So Ella Connolly has wrapped up her overall win for the Enduro series already. That's done. Officially, she races on Cannondale's habit, but the race bike that we've seen, well, it seems like a bit of an evolution of that. So it's not the same. Habit was launched a little while back, so it kind of like it makes sense that it's due for a bit of a refresh to keep it up to date. And that may or may not include maybe more travel. We don't really know. It might be changing the geometry. We're just gonna have to wait and see. But I mean, I guess the key thing is that whatever they've done to that bike clearly works for Ella because she's, wrapped up the overall and is winning lots of races. Spec-wise, it is all SRAM, singing and dancing, flight attendant build. Wheels are Industry 9 with the aluminium spokes by the looks. So the current top spec Habit is the Habit LT Limited. When I first read that, it was LT, LTD, but it's not. It's Habit Limited LT. I think I've got that wrong way around. But anyway, that spec is £7,250. And with the upgraded parts, Ella's bike, we reckon it's going to be closer to 11K because you've got £2,000 in suspension because you've got all the flight attendant stuff, and then you've got about £2,000 in wheels as well. Spendy, but winning.
And the prices keep on going. So Dan Brooker is almost a privateer, but not quite. So he's supported by brands like Santa Cruz and SRAM, and this puts him a rung above privateer racing out the back of the van. But he's not living the factory lifestyle either. He's even had to buy tyres from his local shop before one of the World Cups this year.
There you go.
So Dan's running a size large Bronson in their top tier CC carbon. He's running the top tier SRAM and RockShox parts throughout, including flight attendant suspension, XXT type transmission and Maven brakes. So finishing kit is taken care of by Bergtech, including his trademark flat pedals and unusually a cloud dirt jump saddle.
Interesting option.
So the jazziest spec of the production bike is £8,799, and whilst that's got a lot of AXS parts on it anyway, it's not at Dan's level. So by our maths, his would be closer to £12,700.
Spendy.
Yeah.
IBIS sponsored rider Greg Callaghan has a few options when it comes to enduro race bikes, and that's because IBIS have got quite a few bikes.
Yeah.
So they've got the HD6, which is like the 165mm bike, then they've got the 150mm travel Ripmo, and Greg switches between them for different tracks, so he does builds for each of them. But in this one, we're going to focus on the Ripmo, which is a very nice bike. Greg is a SRAM athlete, so it's not that surprising that he's using the flight attendant suspension, he's got an axis dropper, he's got the Maven brakes, and T-type transmission. Wheels are from the Irish brand Silt, and he switches between running the carbon ones and the alloy ones. Either wheels, he definitely runs the Conti Enduro tyres.
Nice.
And interestingly, he runs SRAM's Tyre Whiz. So this is like a tyre pressure monitoring thing. Yeah. I mean, it's very fancy tech to tell you if you've got a flat tyre or not, but it is 145 quid per end. So it's a tech treat. The rest of the cockpit is cast. This is this newer brand that we've seen do tyres and cockpit parts, where they're working with lots of pros to make sure that all the little tweaks that pros want are perfect. So hopefully Greg's got that.
Nice.
The maths on this, we reckon, is around 12,800 or so, give or take, headset, some frame spares, some tyre seam and all of that. So, you know what, we should just probably call it 13, shouldn't we? 13 grand.
Charles Murray, he's a fast, race-winning fast, but the Kiwi does racing his way. So continuing a trend we've seen from other racers and other bikes on this list, rather than the long travel specialised Enduro, Charlie is riding the 145mm travel Stumpjumper 15. So the closest off-the-shelf option is the S-Works Stumpjumper 15 LTD with Fox's live valve electronic suspension, but Charlie's build is close, but he's got the usual top-tier parts from SRAM, so that does bump the price up a touch. But interestingly, what at first glance might look like a bar end is in fact a Loam Lab counterpunch. Yeah. It is a bar end, but more to avoid sort of finger injuries by clipping trees and rocks or sort of anything else you find
so
getting
not
in
for
the way.
climbing.
No.
Yeah,
no.
okay.
With all the bells and whistles, we're making that build to be around £13,500.
Pivot's Firebird, I mean, it's their enduro bike, and it has been for a while. Got a refresh this year, and it's already made its way onto the podium, thanks to Morgan Shaw. She's very quick. She's a storied racer too. She's won a world champs in DH and on flat pedals. So this is quite fun. It is an expensive bike, but this is a production option.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. So she's got, I think there's like 15 different build options on Firebird. There's a lot. But this one is genuinely a production one. So full XTR Di2 wireless group set.
Nice.
The same Fox suspension. Okay, that may have changed because she might have been on the podium, but looking at the picture, she's on the 38. And it also includes options like the Reynolds Black Label Enduro wheels.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And actually, that's right, the production build has the podium fork, even though she didn't. So, yeah. And what's also fun is it'd have flat pedals. So out of the box, it'd probably have, I mean, they might be plastic flat pedals, but it would have flat pedals. Yours for just 13,500.
This year's elite men's winning bike, the SB, aka Superbike 160. So is in its third iteration now. Whilst it's seen, plenty of success under Richie Rude, it's seen Slavomir Lukacic, who's taken the men's title this year. Very cool. So true to their racing roots and classic race on Sunday, sell on Monday mantra, Yeti have created a race replica in a rad-looking 40th anniversary paintwork. It's dripping with all the latest race parts. So you've got Shimano's latest wireless Di2 XTR, Fox's wild and winning inverted podium forks, and matching Neo live valve equipped rear shock. So it even comes fitted with Cushcore inserts. There's no question about the build. It's how the overall sort of winner rides. But the price is equally high, and high performance bike, £13,500.
But wait, actually, when I did the pricing, I think I got it wrong.
Oh.
Yeah, because the race team is now also supported by Ceramic Speed.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So whilst for everyone else, full XTR would be amazing, I think they upgrade. I think the production bike has got a Chris King headset.
Okay.
Which you can't really improve
You can't,
on.
no.
But the race team use the Ceramic Speed bottom bracket. I looked up the pricing on that, it's an extra 500 quid. No, seriously, yeah. So
wow.
Maybe there's some other bits in there, because if a bottom bracket is a 500, is a headset that? Is there like a frame bearing set? Let's just add a K on.
So 14.5.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, bit expensive. But it's race winning, isn't it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So these are the bikes that have raced at the current EDR.
Yep.
And we should flag that many of these bikes, I would say pretty much all of them, bar maybe the Geometron, which Nicolai won, you can't get a cheaper version, but pretty much all of them you can get a cheaper spec. Yeah. So you'll get almost the same frame and almost the same suspension performance, but it will be in a cheaper platform. And just as an example though, you can get the Canyon Strive CFR Underdog. So it's effectively the same bike. So it's got the shapeshifter. It's got really jazzy suspension. It's got a really great spec. And effectively, it is really similar to what Jesse's racing. And you can have that for £4,299 at the moment. Prices do fluctuate. I agree, that is not a cheap bike, but it's not going to be that bike that's holding you down from winning an Enduro. That bike could easily win one.
Yeah.
And it's not, I guess, like a full travel Enduro machine, but in the past, Jesse's raced on this same model. He raced on a Spectral early last year.
Yes, it was,
And yeah, you can get a Spectral 5, which is the alloy frame, and there's some different suspension parts, but all of the bits are in the same places, and the geometry is pretty much the same. You can get that bike for £2,150.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, which bike do you want? Which bike are you going to buy? Yeah, let me know. Which one?
Which one? It's got to be the Nicolai.
Oh, you're going Nicolai?
Yep.
Wow.
It's just cool.
Okay,
It's really cool.
I think I'd go for the Yeti or the Canyon. Because I'm probably about the same height as Jesse. I could probably ride Jesse's. Maybe I'll just ask him. That's our opinions. What's your opinion? Which bike are you going to go for? Which bike would you want to ride? And which bike would you like to buy? Let us know in the comments down below.